Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Rishi apologized to Lakshmi for sleeping with Malishka, and Kiran asked her now to leave her house because she's already teaching her daughter how to be a criminal. So let's continue from there. Rishi and Lakshmi are in the room sitting separately and sad. Ayush comes to Rishi and Lakshmi's room and he asks that why did they not get ready to go to the court now. He says that let's face this day, you both should face it. He says the court and the judge cannot do anything and says whoever wants to get divorced get it, but both of you do not want divorce, so the case is simple. Ayush asks Rishi and Lakshmi to tell them in court that they don't want divorce and says Neelam wants to throw Lakshmi out of the house, but they both should be adamant not to ask for divorce. He says to Rishi and Lakshmi that I am younger than you both, but I have to make you understand that you don't need divorce. Ayush asks Rishi and Lakshmi to get ready and come downstairs to the hall, and he leaves the room. Lakshmi cries. Rishi takes his clothes from the cupboard and he goes to change. A song plays in the background. Rishi goes to the washroom and he cries, rubbing the lipstick mark away from his body, and a song continues to play in the background. Lakshmi looks at the cinder on her hand. Rishi asks himself why did he betray Lakshmi and break her trust and ended everything. A song plays in the background and Lakshmi thinks of calling herself lucky. Karishma tells Neelam that everything depends on Rishi. Neelam says Rishi has given me swear and now the divorce would happen. Virendra says to Neelam and Karishma that both Rishi and Lakshmi will take their own decision and he asks Neelam not to interfere. Neelam says my son has given me swear and he will not go back on his word. Virendra and Neelam argue. Grandma says we don't have to become the reason that the children get divorced and says we should be such a family that makes the family differentiate between right and wrong, and Virendra says that Grandma is right. Karishma thinks that how would the divorce happen if Neelam stays silent? She thinks that get the divorce done please. Rishi looks at Lakshmi and his marriage picture and he cries. He thinks that don't hate me Lakshmi, you can punish me but please don't hate me, and he cried. Lakshmi comes there and looks at Rishi. Rishi gets teary eyes and the tears falls down from his eyes. Lakshmi and Rishi come downstairs. Grandma gives them flowers in their hands and she asks them to look at the flower to get strength to say the truth. Karishma says the judge is there to judge and she asks Grandma not to do any drama. Grandma says to Karishma that no power of the world can separate Rishi and Lakshmi. Neelam says nobody can keep them together if they are destined to separate. Ayush asks Grandma to tell him what is the purpose of the flower. Grandma says they might tell each other what is in their hearts looking at the flowers. Ayush asks that what would they tell each other that they did not tell him. Grandma says Ayush. Ayush says I love you and he smiles. Rishi and Lakshmi are in the car on their way to the court. Malishka tells Sonal that Rishi must be upset due to his divorce, so I want to go to him and make him realize that I am with him. Sonal says Rishi doesn't love Lakshmi, but Lakshmi has trapped Rishi, so Rishi will not feel bad letting Lakshmi go. Malishka says to Sonal that when you have pet and when that pet goes, then it is painful. Sonal says yes, but there is no comparison between Malishka and Lakshmi, and Malishka says now, I will see Rishi and Lakshmi divorcing, and she get happy. In the court, Rano says if the divorce happens, then how would the second daughter go to the Oberoi house? The Oberoi family also arrived at the court. Shalu asks Ayush if everything is fine. Ayush says Grandma blessed Rishi and Lakshmi to express their love to each other, so their divorce will not happen. Shalu says really, and she get happy. Lakshmi and Rishi arrived holding the flowers that Grandma gave them. Lakshmi hugged Rano. Rano blesses her and says you will be Rishi's wife forever. The peon comes there and says Rishi and Lakshmi's case is going to start now. Grandma asks Lakshmi not to think anything negative and she blesses her. Malishka comes to the court with Sonal. Lakshmi recalls seeing Malishka and Rishi together on the bed. Malishka tells Lakshmi that her maid told her that Lakshmi came to her house last night and says I will forget whatever happened, and she asks Lakshmi not to let what happened affect their case. She says I will see if I should live or die, but I would undo everything, and she asks them to take their own decisions. Rishi and Lakshmi comes to the judge. The judge asks them to sit. All the family members also comes there. The judge says welcome and says we have come for the final verdict. She says to Rishi and Lakshmi that it seems that you both have cleared all the differences and you are trying to save your relationship, and Rishi and Lakshmi looks on. Ayush tells the judge that Lakshmi had saved Rishi in the court during the terrorist attack, and Rishi takes blame on himself for Lakshmi, and this means that they both love each other. Ayush apologized to the judge for interrupting, but the judge says that there is no problem and says, in fact, I want the family members' opinion as well in order to take the right decision on this case. Grandma asks the judge why she wants to ask for their opinion when the matter is about Rishi and Lakshmi. The judge says you are their family and you understand the problems between them. She says she wants their opinion and she asks Neelam to talk. Neelam says this girl Lakshmi has put Rishi in trouble and Rishi has always overlooked her problems, so this marriage should not exist anymore. Virendra says to the judge that Lakshmi had saved Rishi every time. Rano says yes, Lakshmi thinks about others before herself. It is the Obrey's good destiny that they got such a daughter-in-law. Karishma says Lakshmi is inauspicious and Grandma scolded Karishma. Neelam says to the judge that now you have understood what we think about Lakshmi. Virendra says to the judge to also think about his opinion too. Neelam asks Rishi not to forget the promise that he made to her. Ayush asks Rishi to say I love you to Lakshmi in front of the judge. Then the marriage with Lakshmi and their love is assured. Grandma asks Lakshmi to say the truth because she has her blessings and her flower with her and says the truth is that you love Rishi, so tell the judge the truth. The judge asks if there is something she should know. Grandma says you will know it from Rishi and Lakshmi. Everyone leaves and Ayush says all the best to Rishi and Lakshmi and he also lives with Grandma. The judge asks Rishi and Lakshmi if they want to take divorce even now and they both look on. Outside, Virendra gets upset with Karishma for telling the judge that Lakshmi is inauspicious and unlucky. The judge comes out after some time. Grandma says, Judge Sahib, you have given your verdict so early. The judge asks that what are you all doing here? Because Rishi and Lakshmi have gone long back. Virendra asks that what did you give as your verdict? And the judge looks on. Rishi and Lakshmi are in the car and they put their heads together with each other and they cried. Neelam asks the judge if the divorce is done and if Rishi asks for divorce. Virendra asks the judge what she has decided. The judge says I am a judge and I have done what Rishi and Lakshmi wanted and I agreed and stamped on their decision. Neelam asks if the divorce happened or not and she tells Karishma that Rishi has promised her to get divorced from Lakshmi today. The judge says I wanted to know from Rishi and Lakshmi if they don't want divorce and that was why I asked them. A flashback is shown. The judge asks Rishi and Lakshmi to tell her what they have decided after spending so many days with each other and after knowing each other. Rishi says what Lakshmi wants is what I want and Lakshmi also says what Rishi wants is what I also want. The judge asks them to tell her clearly what they want. Rishi thinks of his promise made to Neelam. Lakshmi thinks about seeing Rishi with Malishka and they both say divorce at the same time. The judge asks if she heard them right and she asks them if they are sure. She asks if this decision is final and Rishi and Lakshmi with teary eyes says yes and the judge says okay. The judge asks Lakshmi if she wants alimony. Lakshmi says she doesn't need anything and says she asked for everything from God, but this was written in her destiny. The judge says I agree, but you can ask for alimony if you want, but Lakshmi says that she doesn't need any alimony. The judge asks Lakshmi to stay in the Obrey's house until she make arrangement for her stay, and Rishi says that the Obrey's house is Lakshmi's house and Lakshmi can stay there and says I will take care of everything. The judge says you are saying that you will take care of Lakshmi after divorcing her. Rishi says that he is divorcing Lakshmi for Lakshmi's wish and not that he is happy about it. The judge asks Lakshmi if she wants to say anything, but Lakshmi remains silent with tears in her eyes. The judge asks for the last time if they really want divorce, and they did not say anything, so the judge wished them all the best, and she gave them a handshake. Lakshmi angrily looks at Rishi with tears in her eyes, and a song plays in the background, and the flashback ends. The judge informs the family that Rishi and Lakshmi had decided to get divorced, so I have to finalize it, and I have granted it. Virendra, Grandma, Ayush, Shalu, Bani and Rano are shocked. Malishka also now happily, and Neelam smiles with her mouth wide open, and Karishma congratulates her. Grandma says, how did this happen? Ayush asks Grandma to ask Rishi and Lakshmi. Grandma says I would ask them, and all the evil people smile. In the car, Rishi asks Lakshmi if they cannot change their decision. He says, I know that I broke your trust and I betrayed you, but I cannot live without you. He says, I will win your trust again. Lakshmi asks if Rishi can wipe that betrayal of that night away, and she says she cannot live with him with his betrayal. Rishi cried and says to Lakshmi that don't separate me from you. Lakshmi says don't make me remember that night because everything is over. Rishi asks, will you forgive me? Lakshmi wipes her tears and she looks on. Malishka is driving the car and she tells Sonal that finally Rishi and Lakshmi demanded for divorce on their own and says, I'm so happy. Sonal says to Malishka that we need to celebrate and have party. Malishka says the main drama would happen at home when Rishi and Lakshmi have to tell everyone why they wanted divorce. Sonal says all the credit goes to me, else you would have been with that Balvinda and busting small crackers. She says what I did is a big blast and Rishi and Lakshmi are separated. Sonal says to Malishka that Rishi will tell everyone what happened between him and you, and if Rishi refuses to talk, then Lakshmi will tell everyone. Malishka says Lakshmi will not talk. Sonal says then we will talk because our mouth is not locked, and they get happy and jubilate. Lakshmi come back home with Rishi. She thinks of Rishi's promise to her that they will never separate. A song plays in the background. Rishi comes there and cries, seeing Lakshmi crying. He couldn't bear it and he goes to the washroom. He recalls their moment together and he cried and he wipes his tears. Then he recalls Lakshmi's words and he cried more. So this is how Rishi and Lakshmi got their divorce, all thanks to Malishka. So what is going to happen next? Please stay tuned for that because I'll be dropping another episode or another update today. Please don't forget to check the comment section for the link to the next episode once it is available. And please don't forget to give this video a like and also share it to anybody you feel will like it. I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.